Good morning, students. Welcome to your business studies class. In the previous lecture, we had discussed the meaning of marketing mix, and in a very brief, we had also discussed the various elements of marketing mix, that is, the 4 P's of marketing mix: product, price, place, and promotion. In today's lecture, we would be starting with the first elements of marketing mix, that is, your product mix. Now, first of all, the meaning of product mix. As we has also discussed in our previous lecture regarding the product meaning of product and what product mix is. So, product mix is generally combination of various tools, that is, the combination of decision regarding the planning, developing and producing the right type of product and services for the consumers. Now, in this, the marketer must thus focus on what a product or service does for a customer, that is, the utility or benefit that a product provides to a customer. Once that is analyzed, that means once they have analyzed the need and want of the customer and what actually product or services are required by the customer, then a layer of values can be added to provide a greater satisfaction to the customers. Now, there are 3 layers of categories that are given to the product. First level is the basic benefit that a buyer seeks in a product. For example, if a buyer is purchasing a car, so he is getting the satisfaction of an automobile transportation through which he can commute easily. The second layer is that what a customer expects, that is, in terms of various features when they buy a product. For example, if that person is buying a car, so he's not only just buying a car, but what features that car is giving, maybe the fuel efficiency, desired mileage, etc. Third level is the augmented product level, that what extra features are added in a particular product so that we can attract the customers. So features that can be added by marketers in order to exceed customer expectation. For example, now we are selling a car with good fuel efficiency, desired mileage, plus the extra feature that we are giving is that you can buy that car through easy EMIs or finance options are also available. So these are the 3 levels of layers that are given by the marketer. Now, from the customer's point of view, customer seeks 3 types of benefit. First is the functional benefit. For example, if a person has purchased a motorcycle, so the benefit that person is getting is of the transportation facility. Second is psychological benefit, that is need for prestige and esteem. Third is social benefit, that is acceptance from a group that yes, that person is also having a motorcycle. So this is what actually product mix is. So these are the 3 elements of product mix, that is branding, packaging and labeling. So we would be discussing one by one these 3 elements of product mix. In today's lecture, we would be discussing the first element of product mix, that is the branding. Branding. Now, for what actually branding is? Branding is the process of giving a name or a sign or a symbol, etc. to a product. That means whenever we are giving an identity to our product, that is known as branding. Now, that identity could be in the form of a name or a sign or a symbol or maybe a combination of all these things. Now, these are few terms that are related to branding. First is the generic name. Now, generic name basically refers to the name of the class of the product. For example, book, toothpaste, tire, pen, shoes. So these are the generic products. When we give them a particular name, that becomes a brand name. Second is branding. The process used to create a distinct identity of a product. It is the process of using a name, term, symbol or design individually or in some combination to identify a product. Third is brand. Now, brand is the name, term, sign, design or some combination of the above used to identify the product of the seller and to differentiate them from those of the competitors. As you can see in the diagram also, that brand name versus generic, that means if the brand name is known to you, then you can specifically buy those products, but if the brand name there is no brand name, then it would be sold in a specific or a generic name, that is no name is mentioned on the chips and you would be just saying that please give me a particular chip. Now, we can also see certain logos or signs here through which we can recognize a particular brand. Then brand name is that part of brand that can be spoken. For example, Adidas, Reebok, Apple, LG, Samsung. So these are the names that can be spoken. Brand mark, part of the brand that is in the form of symbol, design, color scheme or lettering that cannot be uttered but can be recognized. As you can see that sometimes we cannot utter that word, that symbol, but we can recognize them through the brand marks that are been given to the products. Then what is this trademark? Brand or part of brand that is given legal protection against it used by the other firms. So when we give up legal protection to our product, that is known as a brand trademark. So as you can see in the picture also, like three marks are given. C is for the copyright, TM is trademark, and R is the registered trademark. So that part that is registered, that is known as your registered trademark, and just TM is a trademark for which the registration is not necessary. So basically when we are writing this TM, that means that we are just using this trademark and it has not been registered. But when we are using this R in a circle, that means that this trademark has been registered. Advantages of branding. Now, what are the advantages of a branding to the marketers and to the customers? Now, first we'll study that what are the advantages of branding to the marketers. Now, first advantage is that it enables product differentiation. That means you can easily differentiate your product from the product of your competitors. So it helps the organization in distinguishing its product from its competitor, and you can basically ensure and secure also the controlled market for a product. Second is helps in advertising and display program. Now with the brand name, advertising become more effective as it not only makes people aware about the features of a product but also about brand which can provide these benefits. So through this advertising, basically you are informing the customers that what actually your product, your brand is providing to you or to the customers. Then third is differential pricing. Now this branding enables the firm to charge higher prices for its products than its competitors, because if customers like a brand and become habitual of it, they do not mind paying a little higher price for it. As we all know that some products or some brands are very expensive, but still we buy those brands, we buy the products of those brands. Why? Because of the loyalty towards that brand. So in this way the organizations may charge higher prices because of this brand loyalty of the customers. Then ease in introduction of a new product. A new product can easily be introduced under a known brand and it is likely to get an excellent start. For example, now the Samsung can extend the brand name of its television to washing machines, microwave, oven, etc. Now the advantages of branding to the customers. First is that it helps in product identification. Now the customers can easily identify the product. For example, if a customer is satisfied with the services or with the features of a particular brand, so every time whenever he is buying that particular brand, though he will not check the authenticity or he will not inspect it every time. Once he is satisfied with the services of a brand, he will become a loyal customer of that brand. Then ensures quality. Now branding ensures a particular level of quality to customers. This builds up confidence of customers and increases their level of satisfaction. Then status symbol. The brands become the status symbols of the customer. Some brands become status symbol due to their quality. For example, Puma, Adidas, Mobla, etc. So the consumers of these products feel proud and enjoy the status. So these are few advantages of branding to the marketers and to the customers. Characteristics of a good brand name. Now these are few characteristics that a good brand name should have. First is that the brand name should be easy to pronounce, spell and remember. It should be short also. For example, Lux, Dettol, Nirma, Surf, Vim, etc. Then the If possible, the brand name should be able to suggest the benefit, uses, purpose, quality, or performance. For example, Ujala suggests brightness, Hajmola suggests digestion, and Sunsilk suggests hair shine like sun and softness of silk. Then the brand name should be distinctive or unique. For example, Thumbs Up, Zodiac, Kodak, Safari, Synthol. Then the brand name should remain constant for a reasonable period of time in order to gain popularity. It should be capable of registration and legal protection. Then the brand name should have a staying power. That means it should not get out of date. For example, Lux, Coca-Cola, Nirma, etc. Then the brand name should be sufficiently versatile to accommodate new products which are added to the product line. For example, Maggi, Colgate, etc. So these are the few characteristics of a brand name that each and every brand name should have. So to recapitulate, we have done today the product mix and the first element of product mix, that is branding, in which we had discussed few terms related to branding, then the advantages of branding to the marketer as well as to the customers, and the characteristics of a good brand name. In our next lecture, we would be studying the remaining two elements of product mix, that is packaging and labeling.